Hello, welcome to Seeking Heaven, the Near-Death Experience and Other Phenomena. Today, we have a special speaker spotlight from SAI, and that's Spiritual Awakenings International, and .org if you want to visit their website. But the conference for the SAI conference is June 12th through 13th. So we're doing a sneak peek of different speakers, and today we're having the Spanish Experiencers panel. And I want to bring on she's one of the founders and the president of Spiritual Awakenings International, and also a 5-time near-death experiencer. I feel like I need a drum roll here. This would be Dr. Yvonne Kason. Oh, I didn't tell me. I'm Tamara Caulder Richardson. I'm your host today, and I'm also the host of Seeking Heaven, as the Near-Death Experience and Other Phenomena channel, as well as a 6-time near-death experiencer and also speaker at the conference. So welcome, everybody. So Dr. Kason, thank you for being here.
Hi, thanks for having me, Tamara. And thanks for doing the speaker spotlight for our upcoming Spiritual Awakenings International Conference. I'm really excited about the conference, and I'm really excited about today's speakers because we're going to be doing our first ever, of course, it's our first conference, so everything's first, but our first event in Spanish. And so today, of course, they're going to be talking in English and in Spanish, but we're doing this in outreach to the Spanish language community around the world.
Yes, that sounds great. And also, if anyone wants to register for the event, which is June 12th through 13th, it's 2 days over a weekend. It's coming up in just 2 weeks. It's free, absolutely free. I mean, I can't believe you're doing it for free. And the panel is it's a very global panel. So, and now we have the Spanish panel, which is exciting. So, would you like to bring on the different people right now?
Why, sure. I'd be delighted to introduce them. So the first person I'd like to introduce is Ana Cecilia Gonzalez. And Ana Cecilia Gonzalez lives in Mexico. Hi, Ana. Ana was born in Monterrey, Mexico, and she is an NDE experiencer. She'll be sharing her story on the panel. And she's the author of this wonderful book, When Life Is Not Forever, which is available in English and in Spanish. I'm not even going to try to do the Spanish title. You'll have to do that, Ana. And she's both an MEd, an attorney at law, and she's a public speaker. And she speaks a lot on ways of improving your life and also interesting on preparing for death. Wow. So, yeah. And Ana was born with a congenital heart defect that most people don't survive. And so her life journey has been full of challenges, but her focus is that life is precious and live into your best despite whatever adversities God brings you. So Ana will be our first speaker.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Ana. Our second speaker on the Spanish panel will be Francisco Valentin. Welcome, Francisco. Francisco was born in Puerto Rico, but currently lives in the United States. And he's had multiple STEs. He lists himself as a death experiencer, a near-death experiencer, and a spiritually transformative experiencer who communicates with ascended masters. So he too is an author, a speaker, lecturer, but he publishes, rather than a book, he publishes a regular release, I guess, podcast called The Transcript. So I'm sure he's going to tell you about that. His powerful STE in 2011, a spirit of light manifested through his son's voice to told him about a soul agreement he had made earlier on. So I'm sure he's going to tell us about that.
Fantastic. Thanks for being here. All right, we've got one more, and I know this lady.
And our third Spanish STE Experiencers panelist will be Dr. Ingrid Honkala. And Ingrid was born in Colombia, but currently living in the United States. I think you travel a lot. Are you in the United States now, Ingrid? Yes.
Yes.
She's the author of a wonderful book called A Brightly Guided Life. how a scientist learned to hear her inner wisdom. And her life changed from the very young age of 2 when she had a very powerful near-death experiences. And STEs have just been a part of her life ever since. She's been aware of dimensions and other lives and beings of light communicating and guiding with her. So she's going to be, she's professionally an oceanographer, but she also considers her a light worker. So anyway, these are our 3 beautiful people who will be speaking at the Spiritual Awakenings International Conference on the Spanish language experiencers panel, June 13th. So Sunday, June 13th. And that's going to be at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. So Eastern time, that's 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And you can register on the Spiritual Awakenings International website. It's free. Today, they're going to be speaking English and Spanish, but at the conference, they're going to be speaking in Spanish.
Yes, fantastic. Well, and you can see where to register below. It's free. Tell your friends. And this is just a little fun snippet so you can meet the speakers, see what they're like as people, and get an idea of the type of topics they're going to be talking about. So I believe that all of us here, including me and our co-host, Dr. Yvonne Kason, has had near-death experiences. So I'm not sure what part of the aspect each of you are going to be speaking about. But I would like to first go with Anna. Would you like to tell us a little bit about what you're going to be speaking about on June 13th?
Sure. Thank you very much, first of all, for inviting me.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm going to say it for in English, first in English. Well, I'm going to be, like Yvonne mentioned, I was born with a very serious heart condition. So since I was a very, very small girl, I've been face to face with death. So we've been very close to each other many, many times. So death was something that was not mysterious for me, but it was something that I was just trying to figure out what was it, because I was very close to it. I figured this out because of my heart condition. So part of what I'm talking about is how was this journey, the way I lived it when I was small until I got my near-death experience, and everything came clear. Everything that I had gone through, why was I alive? Why was I still here? And everybody else that was born with the same condition was already dead. It was just so mysterious that I just needed to understand. So I will be talking about this near-death experience during my journey. Entonces, en español lo comento desde muy pequeña. Yo estuve en contacto con la muerte debido a mi cardiopatía. Ya nací con una cardiopatía muy compleja. La esperanza de vida era prácticamente nula. Entonces la muerte y yo nos hemos visto de cara muchas veces desde muy pequeña. Y para mí esta idea de qué es la muerte no me asustaba, sino era, bueno, ¿qué va a pasar si yo me voy a morir pronto? Y no fue sino hasta que tuve mi experiencia cercana a la muerte que entendí todo este proceso que yo había vivido, el cual les voy a comentar. Y bueno, definitivamente me cambió la vida y le dio sentido a por qué es que yo seguía viva y todos los demás niños con mi misma cardiopatía ya habían fallecido. Básicamente es lo que voy a estar hablando y obviamente de mi gran experiencia cercana a la muerte.
Oh, gracias, Ana. Also, do you want to say your book again? The name of your book?
Of course, yes. My book in English is When Life is Not Forever. Y en español es Cuando Vivir No Es Para Siempre. This comes from my memory when I was in intensive care, just about to die, that I said, well, what do you do when you know that you're going to die? But I thought about this when I was 7 years old, 7 or 8 years old. So I figured that I was going to die. So what do you do at that age? So there's where the name of this book comes from, because I know everybody's going to die. So it comes from what do you do when you find out you're not going to live forever. Entonces esta idea del título de Cuando Vivir No Es Para Siempre viene de cuando yo estaba en cuidados intensivos al borde de la muerte, pensando en que mi recuerdo de cuando tenía 7 u 8 años, que dije, ¿y ahora qué hago si me voy a morir? Y no voy a vivir para siempre como los demás niños. Yo pensaba en esa edad de los 7, 8 años. Entonces de ahí viene el título de Cuando Vivir No Es Para Siempre.
Oh, gracias, Ana. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, what wisdom. I can't wait to hear that. Wow. 7 years old, you're a deep little kid like me and Ingrid. So I can't wait to hear what Francisco has to say. Francisco, welcome. And tell us a little bit about now, what are you going to cover, or you think that you're going to cover for the June 13th, which is on Sunday, the 4:30 Pacific time? What is your topic going to be?
Well, basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell my story. My story is one that still today, it baffles me, and I keep asking myself, why me? Why did it have to happen to me? But it all started back one summer day, 1979, when at the young age of barely turning 18, and due to a fatal car crash, I died. And when I came back knowing things not taught in school. But when I tried to explain what happened to me, I was immediately shut down by my family, friends, my culture, religion, even the science that I knew and the history that I was told. And that's when I decided to, you know what, I'm gonna keep it to myself and take it to the grave. So I thought, hear me now. But my death experience, or my near-death experience, as some people might want to call it, is not what is bringing me here today. Because then I would be one among those many that have had near-death experience, and I'm not an exception to the rule. Basically, what happened to me was that there was an event on July 7, 2011, at approximately 10 p.m. Eastern Time, when a spirit of light manifested through my 20-year-old son's voice to remind me of an agreement that took place in 1979 in return for my life. But first, it answered all those questions that I had asked myself, and I couldn't get a straight answer from humanity. And before it left, it granted me access to what I learned to call higher truth, so I can finish my quest and begin my work. And my work is what I'm going to explain in my 20-minute lecture on June 13. Mm-hmm. Now, for those who want me to say it in Spanish, antes que nada, buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches. Mi historia es una historia que yo al día de hoy todavía estoy perplejo y me sigo preguntando, ¿por qué a mí? ¿Por qué me pasó a mí? ¿Por qué tuve que ser yo? Todo comenzó una tarde de verano de 1979, donde apenas habiendo cumplido 18 años de edad, debido a un accidente trágico, fatal, yo morí. Y a mi regreso, regresé sabiendo cosas que no enseñan en la escuela. Y cuando traté de explicar lo que me pasó, fui marginado por mi familia, mis amigos, la cultura, la religión, la ciencia y hasta la historia que yo conocía. Y ahí fue donde yo decidí, ¿saben qué? Mejor me lo callo y me lo llevo a la tumba. Y ahí fue donde, pero básicamente mi experiencia de muerte o cercana a la muerte, como le quieran llamar, no es lo que me está trayendo aquí al ruedo público, porque yo sería uno entre tantos miles y no soy una excepción a la regla. Lo que ocurrió fue que hubo un evento el 7 de julio del 2011 donde un espíritu de luz se manifestó a través de la voz de mi hijo de 20 años para recordarme que hubo un acuerdo en el 1979 a cambio de mi vida. Pero primero me contestó todas las preguntas que yo no había podido contestar, había podido recibir contestación legítima de la humanidad, y antes de marcharse me dejó, diríamos, un legado de lo que yo aprendí a conocer como lo que es suma verdad para que yo terminara mi búsqueda y me comience a trabajar. Y mi trabajo es lo que voy a explicar el día 13 de junio para todos ustedes. Así que los espero pronto. Gracias.
Oh, gracias, Francisco. So you definitely are speaking out now. You said you're making up for lost time. So that's fantastic. So many of us are speaking out years from a while back. So we lost Anna, but she'll probably pop back in. So till then, It's Adriana. She's saying hello. And I know that she's from Brazil, so she'll enjoy this Spanish segment. So Ingrid, tell us a little bit about what you're going to be speaking about on the June 13th SAI conference.
Yes, thanks so much, guys, for having us here. This is such a blessing and such an honor. And I'm so excited because, like I was mentioned to you guys before, people are asking, we want more things in Spanish. So this is great that we're doing this. And yes, what I want to share with everyone is my journey, which is all this journey of what we call waking up, and the journey of how we can gain the awareness and the understanding of who we truly are. And all this happened for me when I was very young due to a near-death experience. And just like Francisco, when I came back from this near-death experience, I had awareness I didn't have before, and I had skills that were incredible. Just almost turning just 3, and I had the possibility to read, write, resolve mathematical problems, put together complex puzzles. It was like, what is going on with this child? On top of that, this awareness of knowing that we were more than this physical reality. And from there, my connection with beings of light started, and it started to have all kinds of what we call spiritual transformative experiences. And then it's just been a journey. Well, throughout this journey, I was able to get validation, starting with my mother saying, oh, yes, I think what you see is real, because incredibly, I was also born in a family that had the possibility to communicate with the spirit realm, and that were open to what I was bringing. And then throughout this communication with beings of light, as Francisco's also mentioning, I was able to just bring clarity about death, about the spirit realm, about what we truly are, why we are here, what is the purpose of being here. And just in this path, trying to bring all these to using the words and using the analogies and using the experiences, personal experiences, to be able to share. So it's incredibly beautiful being able to also tell people that there's no need to fear death, and that we don't have to die to learn who we are. So, and that all of us together, all of us here, and everyone that is going to be talking at the conference is just bringing that reassurance again that we are magnificent beings. We are made of light, and that we have all this incredible uniqueness and grace and beauty and everything we bring to this world for the awakening, to help each other, awake, to help each other, to remind each other, like you guys were mentioning, who we are and why we're here.
It's beautiful.
En español.
En español. Es un honor, es increíble estar acá con ustedes y poder compartir. Mucha gente me dice, ¿cuándo vas a hablar más en español? Entonces me alegra mucho que la conferencia haya creado este espacio en español. Y bueno, quiero compartir con ustedes primeramente mi camino, mi experiencia cercana a la muerte que pasó cuando era tan pequeña. Y de aquí esta experiencia abrió las puertas a que yo empezara a recordar y a reconocer la esencia de quien yo soy. Y bueno, después de esta experiencia cercana a la muerte, empecé a tener conexión con seres de luz, empecé a tener muchas experiencias espirituales muy, muy elevadas. Y bueno, gracias a que tengo una familia que ha tenido claridad y ha tenido cercanía también con el plano espiritual, lograron entenderme. Pero igual que mencionaba Francisco, desde muy pequeña con esta experiencia cercana a la muerte, regresé con un conocimiento y con una claridad que no tenía antes y que era increíble para una niña tan pequeña. Cuando regresé tenía habilidades como poder leer, escribir. Estoy diciendo que tenía casi solo 3 años. Podía resolver problemas matemáticos, podía poner rompecabezas complejos juntos y traía todo este conocimiento, pero gracias al apoyo de mi familia logré continuar en este camino espiritual hasta el día de hoy. Y bueno, igual que ustedes, lo mantuve callado por un tiempo porque la gente no entendía, no sabía cómo transmitirlo, hasta que, bueno, la experiencia y la vida y el conocimiento y la lectura y la validación me llevaron ahora a poder entregar este conocimiento y darnos cuenta que no debemos temer la muerte, de que somos seres maravillosos, de que somos eternos y que, bueno, estamos aquí todos con el propósito y con somos únicos, cada uno de nosotros un ser absolutamente único, especial, y estamos todos acá para unir, yo digo, como ese rompecabezas universal, para mostrarnos unos a los otros el camino y llevarnos a recordar que somos luz, que somos belleza y estamos acá para emanar la luz los unos a los otros.
Gracias, Ingrid. And tell us about your book, the name of your book.
Yeah, sí. In the 2 languages, my book in English is A Brightly Guided Life, and in Spanish sería el título de mi libro en español, Una vida guiada en la luz. El subtítulo es Cómo una científica aprendió a escuchar su sabiduría interior.
Oh, gracias. I love the fact that that your books, both of you and Anna's, that are in your native tongue as well as English. I think that's so important. Right. It really honors, your culture and where you're from. So I think that's beautiful. So I have a couple questions for the panelists, and then we will wrap it up by inviting everyone to sign up for the conference coming up in a couple weeks. It'll be, I can't believe it's almost here. It's crazy. It's been months. It's so exciting. So first of all of you are near-death experiencers. Well, actually, all of us here today are. And one of the things that just to help people watching understand is that not only we are not just that near-death experience, but we're growing, we're spiritually expanding. It's not uncommon for all of us to have spiritual ongoing experiences, and that it's not just a moment in time. The other thing is, so many of us that have had near-death experiences also have had after effects. So I would like whoever wants to take this first. Everybody's going, yes. I'm being very polite. I mean, literally, it's gosh knows it's always something with me, and I know it is with so many of you. So maybe explain to people listening, if you want to either give them an experience of something you have that's spiritually transformative, just tell them just a little snippet, just so they understand what our lives are like, or you can about the after effects. So who would like to go first? Anna?
Yes, thank you. In both languages, right?
Yes.
Okay. What I've, through the years, after the years, my experience, near-death experience was a little bit more than 30 years ago. But what happened to me is that absolutely it was before and after my near-death experience. And what has happened to me after many years is that I have a lot of dreams. And there's a lot of information through my dreams. And one of the, I can talk about many of them. But one of the biggest ones, and usually I dream with people that have died. Mm-hmm. And it's like communicating with them and giving me information for the people that I've. So at the beginning, just as Francisco and just as Adriana, I'd never talked about this because I thought it was kind of crazy, until I told one of my friends, and she said, you need to say this because this means a lot. Mm-hmm. So one of the ones I had is with a very close friend that I had not seen her for many years. And then one night I dreamt about her, and we were on the beach, and then she told me a message and said, I need for you to come with me because there's a big thing we have to do together. We've been working here, but there's something beautiful we have to work with. We were in the, like kind of in the beach, very close to the ocean. And she looked to that side, and I said, well, this is beautiful. You know, I cannot go right now. And I just can't now, but I will be there with you, I promise. And she said, but you have to come. This is something that you and I have to do. So I said, I'll be there, I promise, but not right now. So I just saw her walking away. And it was so strong that that morning I wrote to her. I had no answer. And then by noon, I wrote to a friend, you know, I've been dreaming about this. I talked to her. I know I spoke to her. So what happened? And she said she passed away last night. She was in the ocean. She was in the beach, very close to the ocean, and she just died at 2 o'clock in the morning, exactly when I dreamt about her. So that's
Yeah.
probably one of the strongest. And I've had many messages to friends that I just now I don't care, and I just tell everybody when it's not always has to do. I mean, this is nothing negative. It's just love messages usually, but I don't keep them to myself anymore.
Right.
So let me say this in Spanish. A mí lo que me ha sucedido desde después de esto es, como muchos de ustedes, yo me mantuve callada. Yo no quería compartir esto porque me daba miedo, pero empecé a tener muchos sueños, muchos, con personas casi siempre fallecidas que me daban algún mensaje. Y muchos mensajes eran para otras personas y otros eran simplemente mensajes como este que les voy a comentar, en donde soñé con una muy buena amiga que tenía muchos años de no ver. Y de pronto en la noche, a las 12 o 3 de la mañana, sueño con ella y me decía, ella estaba enfrente de la playa, me decía, tienes que venir conmigo porque tenemos un proyecto grandísimo que hacer tú y yo. Vente. Y le decía yo, sí, está increíble, pero no puedo ir. Y me señalaba hacia el horizonte y me decía, es que tienes que venir, este proyecto es tuyo y mío. Y le decía yo, está increíble tu proyecto y voy a estar ahí, pero no puedo hacerlo ahora. En este momento no puedo. Entonces me regreso a algo que se me olvidó. I forgot to say that I gave her a big hug and a kiss and I gave her my blessings. Entonces la abracé, la besé y la vi como partía y se iba, y entonces en la noche, ya en la mañana que despierto, fue tan fuerte este sueño que le empiezo a escribir y no me contesta. Tenía mucho de no verla y ya para cerca de mediodía le escribo a una amiga y le digo, oye, ¿qué pasa con Dea que no sé nada de ella? Y no me contesta. Me dijo, amiga, falleció anoche en la madrugada, estaba en la playa con todas sus amigas. Entonces yo lo que entendí es que vino a despedirse y a decirme, tenemos un proyecto, tenemos un plan. So she said, we have a plan, there's something to do. Entonces dejé de tenerle miedo a esto, empecé a decirlo, empecé a hablarlo y obviamente me dio mucha seguridad saber que mis sueños no eran simplemente mis ideas, eran verdad y había algo detrás. So I learned that my dreams had a meaning.
Absolutely.
So that's what I said.
That's beautiful. And do you keep a dream journal?
Of course I do. I learned that I have to do it precisely when I wake up. I write that I have a lot of dreams and they turn to have a meaning many times days later. Me pregunta que si tengo un diario. Sí lo tengo. Un diario tengo muchísimos sueños escritos y después de un tiempo tienen muchísimo significado. Entonces aprendí eso y ya no le tengo miedo a esto, pero al principio fue difícil. At the beginning it was difficult, but now I'm absolutely not afraid of my dreams.
Wow,
I know there's a reason for them.
Absolutely. And I think it's a great idea for everybody to keep a dream journal because you'll forget. Sometimes you have to write it down. I've written stuff down in the middle of the night and it doesn't always make sense, but it usually does later. So thank you for sharing that. I think that's great for everyone that if they do get a dream, to write it down, especially if it's significant. And what a beautiful story of your friend that love bond is still there. So thank you so much, Anna. And then Francisco, I guess I'll repeat the question. So what would be, so people could understand you a little bit better, just a small example of an after effect or how these spiritually transformative experiences still move through you. And I know you've got an array, okay? I know it's going to be hard to pick one, but just give them an example.
Well, remember when at first I said that I was given access to higher truth to finish my quest and begin my work? Well, they were right on the spot. I mean, it seems like this was an overdue thing that I need to start the end of the bargain, because the following day when I woke up with this urge to write, but I didn't know what to write about because I was never good at writing or anything like that. So I grabbed my laptop, and when I started writing, I realized that I was transcribing verbatim, word by word, what happened that the night of the evening. Call it automatic writing because I do not have such a good memory. But I wrote verbatim what took place that evening. And the following evening, I start waking up in the middle of the night between 1 and 3 a.m. Just to download information that I knew exactly what it meant so beautifully, but yet so complex. And I started, because it was in the middle of the night, all I could do was, instead of writing down things, I start recording them. Most of them are mumbling words because I was very, very, very asleep, yet downloading that information. And to make the long story short, still today, after 10 years, I'm still receiving messages that I write down. I record and transcribe as I receive, perceive, and transcribe the original intent from those who I learned to call the collective forces of knowledge and wisdom. And everything that I write is about the origin and purpose of life without theological ties this time around.
Beautiful.
So today I have over 500 and counting. On the transcript that I'm posting on my website, running today, I'm still working with 2012. So imagine what the little brain of mine have from transcript that I still have today in 2021. So I have a long way to go, a very long way to go. And at first it was in the middle of the night, then it got kind of a little bit too much. So I asked them to please don't do this anymore. I mean, do it when I wake up during the day. And actually, my wife is used to me watching TV, and I just get up and go to my room and start transcribing. And it's part of my daily thing. I'm already so used to it that, I mean, it comes and goes at will. Now, let me say this in Spanish.
Yes.
Cuando les estaba mencionando sobre la suma verdad y cómo yo la recibo, el día siguiente, cuando yo me desperté con este deseo de escribir y no sabía qué. Cuando me pongo a escribir en la computadora, me di cuenta que lo que estoy haciendo es transcribiendo verbatim, palabra por palabra, todo lo que ocurrió en esa noche. Y posteriormente, eso yo le llamaría escritura automática, porque no hay otra explicación para eso. Y posteriormente comencé a levantarme entre 1 y 3 de la mañana para bajar información que yo desconocía totalmente, pero entendía en su perfección la simplicidad dentro de su complejidad. Al sol de hoy tengo una suma que excede 500, lo que yo llamaría transcritos, que posteo en mi página web, y son sobre el principio, origen y el propósito de la vida, sin envolver teología alguna. Y esa es la parte curiosa y bien específica en todos estos transcritos. Imagínense, si ahora mismo en este momento lo que estoy trabajando son con los transcritos del 2012, imagínense lo que hay en esta cabecita mía de información que yo he recibido que aún no puedo divulgar, que tengo que poner en mis transcritos. So, el trabajo mío es largo y tendido.
Oh, gracias, Francisco. And I think it's just another example of showing how spirit, the universal consciousness, source, whatever you want to say, works through near-death experiencers. So that's, and it shows up differently with different people. So thank you for sharing that. Ingrid, I know you've got a lot going on. You've been on the Seeking Heaven channel a few times. So again, you're probably also going to have difficulty picking how, how the divine works through you after your experience. But if you could give people an example of what your life is like and how it's still living within you now and how you are still in communication with that, the other side of light and love, or whatever you want to call it.
Yes, thank you. So yeah, my nowadays the communication I have with the beings of light is permanent, and now I am even more than referring to beings of light is now the sense of just, I like to use the word source, like this just direct and very beautiful, powerful communication. And as I mentioned, all this started when I was very little with the near-death experience. And after that, I had started to have out-of-body experiences. And the communication with, at the moment, I recognize as beings of light, because that's how they presented to me, just as light. They shape itself into a human form, and it's when I realized, oh, you are a being of light. So that's how I started to call them when I was 3 years old. And but it was not easy, because nobody really understood what I was experiencing, the people around me. And there was a moment when I asked the beings of light, why me? Why this is happening to me? And they say something really beautiful. They said, because you are special and you are beginning to know it. And I said, what do you mean that I am special? They said, everybody is special, but not everybody knows it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, all the things that you are experiencing, and they say even this as they knew, I mean, they know, but of course in my mind, I didn't know they knew. They said, all the things you are experiencing and the things you're about to experience are not for you to keep. Someday you will give this knowledge to everyone else when you are ready. And they even through my time, they will bring me to know time. And it was a moment when I'm 19 years old later in my life, when they said, in 20 years you will understand and you will start passing these teachings. And of course, being young, it's like, what do you mean in 20 years? That's like forever. But we need a time of preparation. But again, this was not easy. And when I was young, I felt very different from everybody else. I didn't feel that I did not belong. And I did feel that it was hard to remain here in this experience as human. So what is the beautiful gift of this? That after all these years and clarities and understandings, nowadays, I can help other people that have children that have gone through these experiences. The after effects are really hard, really difficult to explain. It's really difficult sometimes to live your life as a child with all that awareness, all that knowledge, even with things you cannot explain and no one around you having the way to help you. And some beautiful experiences I have had since I started to talk to people, and is mothers and fathers connecting with me. How can I help my child? My child had a near-death experience, or can see spirits or have a spiritual experience. We don't know what to do. And a lot of these children are in a lot of distress, depression, feel different. They don't belong. They feel ostracized. And just by telling them nothing is wrong with you and talking directly with them, the world completely turns around. So it's incredible the work we're all of us here to do to help others.
That's beautiful.
So in Spanish now. Bueno, es lo más bello de este trabajo es cómo podemos ayudarnos mutuamente. Y pues como comentaba en inglés, después de mi experiencia cercana a la muerte, empecé a tener la facultad de hacer viajes astrales y de comunicarme con seres de luz. Y estaba yo mencionando que ahora actualmente en mi vida esta conexión es continua y para mí ha ido a expresiones más profundas de sentir conexión directa con lo que llamamos la fuente, comunicación directa con la fuente. Pero ¿por qué los llamé seres de luz? Porque cuando tenía 3 años y empecé a comunicarme con ellos, los seres de luz se manifestaron para mí como se transformaron en forma humana, seres hechos de luz. Y claro, yo necesitaba comprensión de dónde estaban llegando estos mensajes, y fue cuando se transformaron y se presentaron en forma humana y dije, ¡oh, ustedes son seres de luz! Y bueno, empecé a recibir mensajes desde que era muy pequeña, pero obviamente la gente alrededor mío no tenía comprensión de lo que estaba pasando, ni yo, el lenguaje, ni el conocimiento para transmitir lo que estaba sucediendo. Entonces, desde muy pequeña me empecé a sentir que, bueno, era un alien, que no cabía en este mundo, no pertenecía. Y entonces es cuando le pregunto a los seres de luz, ¿por qué yo? ¿Por qué esto me pasa a mí? Y entonces me dicen algo muy hermoso, me dicen, porque tú eres especial y te estás empezando a dar cuenta. Y les digo, ¿cómo así que soy especial? ¿Qué quieren decir con esto? Y la belleza de la respuesta me dicen, todo el mundo es especial, pero no todos se han dado cuenta todavía. Y es cuando me empiezan a decir que mi experiencia y las experiencias que venían en el camino, como ya yo sabiendo que venía, todas estas experiencias no eran para que yo me las quedara. Me dijo, estas experiencias son para que tú las compartas. Y entonces me mostraban en tiempos en el futuro, y hasta cuando estaba durante mis días de pubertad creciendo, hubo un momento que me decían, en 20 años tendrás la claridad para poder compartir. Obviamente cuando era joven no entendía esto, ¿cómo que 20 años? Eso es para siempre. Y luego no, me daba cuenta que necesitamos un tiempo de maduración, de crecimiento, de conocimiento, de entendimiento, para poder entregar estos conocimientos en su pureza y para poder también tener la empatía, digo, la compasión, y para poder entender y ponernos al nivel de los que no entienden, no tener arrogancia. Pero entonces, lo más bello de todo esto es poder ayudar a otros. Y siempre he sentado en mi camino en este momento muchos padres y madres de familia con hijos que han tenido experiencias cercanas a la muerte, que han tenido experiencias espirituales, que se comunican con espíritus, que les suceden este tipo de cosas y piensan que están mal, que algo pasa con ellos, que son diferentes, se sienten como un alien en este mundo. Entonces, es la manera de, en este momento, poder utilizar estos conocimientos para ayudar a estos niños y a estos padres de familia a entenderse mutuamente. Mostrarle a estas personas, no hay nada malo contigo, no te pasa nada. Y darles la claridad y la apertura de que es más, qué increíble lo que te está pasando. Entonces, con esto generamos conciencia, amor, conexión y la sensación de que pertenecemos. No importa en qué nivel de conciencia estamos, pertenecemos.
Gracias, Ingrid. And you will, wow, you will be so good at this. This is so needed for children with NDEs. I mean, I can just totally see you doing this. I bet you're a beautiful spiritual mother to many. So thank you for doing that. That is so needed. Thank you all so very much. This and also to be so soulful, because this is an impromptu thing that, but I wanted people to get an idea of a slice of what our life is like, from dreams and the responsibility of some of these prophetic dreams, to being woken up in the middle of the night, or leaving your wife to go write down something from spirits telling you you got a good woman there, and as well as helping children, because I've had many child NDEs and I had no one to talk to, and it was and I saw things I didn't understand. And I had to live with that till many years later that I finally get to speak and it's safe. So thank you all. You're all amazing. I can't wait to hear the full thing, June 13th. I want to also invite everyone. I'm going to give you the last word, Dr. Kason, but I want to invite everybody to register. It's free. It's totally free, the whole conference. And that is June 12th and 13th. And it's coming up. So go ahead and sign up so you can be in the database to get the emails and let you know the times that these are going to be breaking down. You can also go on the website, spiritualawakeningsinternational.org, to see the lineup and and tell us a little bit about the lineup. And I'm going to give it to you, Dr. Kason, to close out today with the Spanish panel. And thank everyone for being here so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tamara, and thank you for having us also. So for your viewers, as we've been saying, this conference is going to be Saturday, June 12th and Sunday, June 13th, online, and it's free. We have a total of 22 speakers over the 2 days, and they're going to be all sorts of international speakers. We have speakers from, I believe it is 8 different countries speaking at our conference, and all of the presentations will be in English except for the Spanish language panel, and the Spanish language panel will be on Sunday. It's the last event of the conference, so it's at 4:30 Pacific time, which is 7:30 Eastern time. So I hope to see many of you at the conference. And the website again, Tamara has it on the screen, www.spiritualawakeningsinternational.org. And then after the conference, we have featured speaker events once a month that are also free. You're welcome to sign up for those too. So anyway, thank you, Tamara, for having us. And I look forward to hearing Anna, Francisco, and Ingrid, as well as you at the conference.
Yeah, that's right.
You're going to be a speaker at the conference too. So I look forward to hearing everyone speak at the conference in 12 days.
Yes. And thank you, Dr. Kason, for creating a safe harbor and a global community of experiencers that we don't have to be afraid anymore to speak out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Yes. Okay, namaste.
Goodbye,
Thank you
everybody.
much.
Bye, everyone.
Blessings to everybody. Thank you.